We, the undersigned, call on President Joe Biden to grant clemency to Dr. Afia Siddiqui and allow her to reunite with her family after years of unjust imprisonment and immense suffering. Dr. Afia Siddiqui, a Pakistani citizen with a PhD in cognitive neuroscience, has been held in U.S. custody for nearly 2 decades, sentenced to 86 years in prison for an incident widely believed to be based on false allegations. Her case is one of the tragic remnants of the War on Terror, a period marked by injustices that continue to strain U.S. relations with the global Muslim community. On March 30, 2003, Dr. Siddiqui was sold to the CIA for a bounty and taken into U.S. custody under the suspicion of terrorism. During her capture, her youngest child, Suleiman, just 6 months old, was reportedly dropped on his head and killed. Her 2 other children, both U.S. citizens, were also taken from her. Maryam, then 3 years old, was forcibly adopted into a family in Afghanistan and renamed Fatima, while her son Ahmed, 6 years old, was imprisoned. Both children were held in captivity for 5 and 7 years respectively, suffering immense trauma before being rescued. Meanwhile, Dr. Siddiqui was taken to Bagram Air Force Base, where she was tortured for 5 years. What followed is a nightmare of injustice. She was tried in the U.S. for allegedly attempting to harm U.S. personnel, despite being the only one shot, twice, during the incident in Ghazni, Afghanistan. Her harsh 86-year sentence stands in stark contrast to the countless other injustices of the War on Terror, where far greater harm has gone unpunished. In addition to the torture she endured at Bagram, Dr. Siddiqui has been subjected to further abuse during her imprisonment at FMC Carswell, where she has been held in administrative segregation for 14 years, longer than any other woman in the U.S. federal system. Her time in isolation has been marked by reports of sexual abuse and rape within the prison. These claims are further supported by the fact that 13 employees have been convicted of sexual abuse at Carswell. Dr. Siddiqui has received no meaningful medical care, nor has she been treated for the post-traumatic stress disorder she suffers from due to years of torture and isolation. She has not even been allowed access to religious support, despite Imam Omar Suleiman offering to minister to her. Her sister, Dr. Fawzia Siddiqui, a Harvard-educated neurologist, is prepared to provide Afia with the medical care and supervision she desperately needs upon release. We urge you, President Biden, to exercise compassion and grant clemency to Dr. Afia Siddiqui. As someone who has experienced the profound personal loss of 2 children, we believe you can understand the unbearable pain that she has endured, both as a mother separated from her children and as a victim of severe abuse. It is time to bring an end to this injustice. Dr. Siddiqui has suffered enough. President Biden, use your clemency powers to free Afia Siddiqui and allow her to return to her family. We are asking for everyone's support to call for Dr. Afia Siddiqui's release. By signing this petition, you stand with a mother who has endured unimaginable suffering.